Good afternoon, gamers, or gotcha enthusiasts, or shalom lovers, or whatever you want to be referred to. Good afternoon. I speed ran Hilda's event last night. I've been busy lately. Haven't been streaming much because I've been busy. And one of the things that got left behind was the Hilda event. So I started at like 6 p.m. last night. Just canceled everything else that I had going on. I was like, I'm finishing the Hilda event. That thing was so long that with me like skim reading the dialogue, I almost didn't finish it before the servers closed. I underestimated how long Hilda's event would be, but it was really good. I really enjoyed Hilda's event. I'm glad that they took that new approach on the storytelling. I really liked the way that they implement like pseudo time travel for us to go back and learn from. Like they had secrets that you wouldn't have known unless you failed, and that was like a really good addition to the story. And I'm glad that they explored that space. That being said, there were some parts that were like repetitive, and it kind of went kind of just like padded length to the story, and it didn't necessarily need to be there. Thinking about all of the scenes with corruptors in them, like if you just removed all of those scenes, the story doesn't change. And me personally, my pet peeve is when they put fluff into stories. Arknights is like really, really, really bad at just like nothing but fluff and little to no story. So I would have liked to see them remove some of the fluff and cut the length of the event down by like 33%. That's what I would have liked to have seen. But aside from that pet peeve of mine, the story was fantastic. Hey, FA, how's it going? Okay, so as always, we are on the North American servers, and for me, I can still pull Hilda. Hilda's event isn't out yet, but I can still pull Hilda if I want to. And I'll be honest, I really liked how Hilda was portrayed in the event, and I was tempted to pull more Hilda. But I'm low on pulls. Okay, I haven't been low on pulls in a while, but the anniversary on top of like S5 and Rahu, that was the big thing. S5 and Rahu, it really took the pulls out of my sales. So I got to restrain myself because I don't even think I'm gonna have enough for Irrheia. But we're gonna try. The event will go live in my time 17 minutes from now, but then we still have a 15-minute wait for the banner itself. So we've got some time to kill. Take a look at what's being advertised over here. Peak test paths. Frenzied Solo and Moonborn Etch. Remember Frenzied Solo was super difficult. Like unreasonably difficult. This one I don't remember being bad at all. Oh, I've already, yeah. So I've already beat these. It's just giving me the notification saying like, hey, you can do these again if you want to. That's kind of weird. Yeah, this event was so hard. I barely got the glitter marks from Frenzied Solo. And even then I only got it because I cheesed Jasmine. Jasmine has like an insta-kill phase where she guaranteed kills one of your sinners. But if you use the Graves ECB at the correct moment, and then Core broke Jasmine at the correct moment, then you would skip Jasmine's insta-kill mechanic, and you could continue the fight with all 6 members. Now, I needed all 6 members because I barely hit the point cap. I bet nowadays that if I go into this one with just like Shattered Blade, I bet it's going to be easy now. By the time, it was super tough. I was not able to do that peak path test. I struggled so much. Yeah, this was like the make or break, really. This is the hardest one they've ever released, at least for me. Again, I only beat it because I cheesed it with a super niche mechanic that I accidentally skipped it on like my second attempt, and I spent like 3 hours trying to figure out how to skip it intentionally, and it wasn't that easy. But I wonder how like Shattered Blade works now. Like, did Shattered Blade just roll this, or is it just like a genuinely difficult a genuinely difficult endeavor. I don't really need Lady Pearl. I'd rather go with this setup. Okay, so this is Shattered Blade with LL for more Shattered Blades. Surely this does well, right? And again, we're just killing time for the event. That is a lot of cores that I am not going to be able to break. I am remembering why this mechanic was so difficult. Because the cores are only open for like 3 seconds or something crazy like that. Okay, so instead of giving power to Augustus, I have to give power to Serpent. And I believe I skipped the first core break when I was doing it because there's just no way I could break all the Umber cores in time. Memories are starting to come back. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to watch the first cores come and go, and then I'm going to strike on the second cores. There's the second cores. Now I can all in. Give more energy to Serpent, because I know I'm going to need more energy on Serpent later. Should probably put this down. Yeah, the score is so much higher with Shattered Blade. It's crazy. Okay, I'm going to interrupt that, and I'm going to interrupt Augustus. The team is just so good, man. And again, for those coming in late, I'm just killing time before the event goes live in my region. Man, Serpent is such a good core breaker. I can't believe I slept on her as hard as I did. Just as a core breaker, it's crazy good. Okay, I don't have Serpent up, which is kind of awkward here, but... Or Shen up, that's kind of awkward, but oh well. And I should be dropping another one of these to get some more damage in. I'm just going to drop this now. I forgot how to dodge this. I know somebody has to fall over. If I have to choose somebody, it's going to be LL. I don't remember the exact spots everyone's supposed to stand, and it shows. Oh yeah, I was supposed to stand forward and back. I don't remember. Yeah, I obviously don't remember. But, yeah, Reforged Serpent is so good. So good. Not even just in Shattered Blade, but like in all teams, to be honest. Like, I have Seto as a core breaker here, but it's Reforged Serpent that's breaking 6 cores every time. And I didn't hit the 500k, but like, if I remembered the insta-kill mechanic and how to dodge it, then this would have been an easy 500k. So yeah, this is another stage that Shattered Blade just, Oh wait, is that not 500? Yeah, that's 5 million. That would have been 5 million if I dodged the mechanic correctly. Crazy! Serpent does that much damage? Serpent does that much damage? Good night. Okay, there's my... Okay, I know I didn't hit 5 million because I didn't play the mechanic, okay? Everybody died because I didn't play around the mechanic. So, didn't get 5 million. But I want you guys to note that Serpent was breaking 6 of the 8 cores every core break session, and Serpent is hitting those numbers on the damage chart. What are those numbers? That's an Augustus. Good night. And she's not like dipping into AoE. Usually, like, you're so proud of Serpent because she AoEs 5 things at once, but that's just pure single target Serpent right there. Good night. I can't believe I underestimated her as hard as I did. Crazy center. Okay, so that's my Serpent propaganda. Hey, Lady Diana. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Diamant. Did I miss anybody else? No, I think I got everybody. I think. Okay. But again, we're waiting for the event. My event's not live yet. I can pull Hilda for another 9 minutes if I want to. The dodge spots are the grids color. Are on the grids color. Yeah, like I remembered playing it, but it's just been so long, and I don't like. I've already beat the stage. I don't really feel like going back to it, to be honest. Like we already got the rewards, right? But yes, thank you, because I don't remember them. When was this event run? It was run during Jasmine, so it was like 4 months ago. I guess the peak path test is open for a while, so it would have been like closer to 3 months ago. But yeah, I don't remember how to play around the mechanic from 3 months ago. Just finished chapter 17. This is new to me. Oh, okay. Yeah, you were gone for a while, weren't you? So, Exka. So just for your knowledge, this was the hardest peak path test they've released. I like this one. This one wasn't too bad. Like I just scored 3/4 of the max score. But this one I spent like literal hours on, and I only beat it because I never played around the insta-kill mechanic. If you use Graves ECB at a certain moment, the core break before she does the insta-kill, if you use Graves ECB during that core break, then the core break duration will be extended, and Jasmine will be core broken for the entire duration that she is looking to activate her insta-kill mechanic. And because she is core broken for that entire duration, she never activates it. So if you use Graves ECB at the right time and you core break at the right time, you can skip the insta-kill. And that's how I beat it. But that was tough. I just want another 11. What do you mean by another 11? Another 11 peak path test? Hey, Eji. Hey, Eji. Good to see you. Yeah, it's been a while since I've streamed. Man, I have been busy. Like, December was an interesting month, and it kind of boiled over into the start of January. My schedule's starting to calm down, but it's been busy lately. Irrheia and 50 pulls. Ooh, if I get Irrheia and 50 pulls, I'll be happy. Like, I don't have much. I have like roughly 100 pulls right now, and I just realized there's no music rocking. Why didn't anybody tell me? I forgot the music. Okay, there's the music. I saw Edge video, probably EKG video, on how to do it, and if there's a second where you can break all the cores before her execution. She has her execution. Yeah. I didn't watch a video for it. I learned the hard way. Spent like 3 hours trying to figure it out. Like the exact timing. I wrote it down on a sticky note somewhere. Like break at, I think it was 58 seconds, 48 seconds, one of those two. Eventually got it down. First S rank at 40 pools got Corrin, and Irrheia was the next 10 pool. Hey, there you go. Hey, I'm glad Corrin's seeing some places. Corrin's still good. She needs help. Like she's... Oh, this was the update where they added the stuff. Oh, this is a huge update. I gotta make a video on this update. Can I search tags now? Is that a thing? Filter? How do I search tags? Yes! Yes! This is amazing. Okay. So the filters, you used to only be able to sort by rank and tendency. But they've gone through the entire cast and they've added tags so that people can at a glance, skills have gotten out of hand with their descriptions lately. I don't know if you guys have noticed that skill descriptions have gotten longer. I don't know what's up with skill descriptions getting this long. So it's hard to figure out what people do nowadays. It's also really difficult, like with the roster being so big, it's difficult for me to sort through like who's who and where they're at. But they went through the entire cast and they added tags, keywords to all of the centers, so you can find who you're looking for. So if I'm like, okay, I need to pass the normal attack damage stage in what is it called? Data Crevice. Then I can go ahead and I can find the normal attack damage supports, and then I'm sure in the damage type I can also find normal attack damage. So I'm just like, boom, give me normal attack. Here are my normal attack options. That's really cool. Zoya does do fear. It's really bold that they gave Zoya the fear tag. It's really, really bold that they gave it to her. Yeah, petrification only belongs to one person. Again, another weird tag to have because like not many people have it. But hey, if they're planning on introducing more petrification members, then cool. And even Chelsea's, like I wouldn't play around it because it's RNG. Freeze is another one that only belongs to one person. I'd love to see freeze on more characters because it's actually a really good mechanic. Like if we got an S-rank version of Kelvin, that'd be awesome. But like for the most part, like burn. If somebody says burn team, now people can just click on burn and find, the burn team. And that's a really good quality of life. Really good quality of life. Especially when we go to like Aurum Secretum, like people are always confused, like who's Aurum Secretum? Who's Shattered Blade? Now you can just click and see it. I am a little sad they're still sticking with the life loss propaganda rather than just calling it bleed. But, at least people, when they say like bleed is life loss, they'll be able to see the entire bleed team there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, freeze team comp would be awesome. I'm thinking like, okay, for a freeze team, I'm thinking that there's like a unit or two that do bonus damage to frozen creatures. And then you have an S-rank unit that's like, when this unit core breaks an enemy, they are frozen. So that you can freeze boss units if you need to get the bonus damage. That's like my quick idea for a freeze team. Like it'd be broken if you could just freeze a boss on demand. But if it was like, if this S-rank core breaks a boss, then that boss is frozen for 10 seconds. That's a really good way to introduce like a freeze team into boss damage. Chief energy recovery? Oh, it's so cool. Healing support? Okay, Path Noah, we have to talk. When we put healing support onto a tag, can we please restrict it to healers and not like Hella and Moore and Parfait? Like, Christina? People are going to be looking for a healer, and they're like, okay, I got to find a healer. Let me go into the support types. Healing. I'll put Christina on my team so that she can heal them. Come on. You can't do me like that. That's rough. So this tag system isn't perfect, but it does help a lot. Especially just having like the magic damage and like physical damage and true damage for new players. That's really cool. That's really cool. So she doesn't really heal, right? That's the thing. She has something here. After taking damage from suspect mark bearers, recovers 8.4% of her HP. So when she uses her ultimate on somebody and that person attacks her, she does heal herself. But she only heals herself. So she doesn't heal anybody. And also, like, I've talked about Christina a million times. I have her like at the bottom of the tier list for good reason. But they have to have the suspect mark and it's her ultimate that applies the suspect mark. Where does it say that her ultimate applies the suspect mark? A special mark that lasts for 10 seconds. When casting ultimate, Christina inflicts the suspect mark on a single enemy within the skill range, prioritizing the enemy with the highest HP. The problem with the suspect mark and trying to use it for this healing purpose, again, it only heals Christina when she gets hit, is that this ultimate does core break. So you're only using this when you want to core break somebody. And if the unit is core broken, then the unit's not hitting you, so you're not healing. So this doesn't do anything. It's a completely useless passive. Like, literally never comes up. So it's rough. What do I think of Rumina? Honestly, I need to see her in gameplay. I've held off on the events live, but not the banner. Events live, but not the banner. I need to see more of Rumina. I read her kit, and it sounds pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, sacrificial minions have always been good. I'm looking at Owo, looking at Eve, looking at Count Chelsea. All of those effects, this song is like really obnoxious. All those effects have been really good in the past, and it looks like she has some supportive stuff going on too. But until I like put my hands on it and play around, like I'm not gonna make any rash decisions and say that she's strong or weak until I've properly tested it. Yeah, Andrew, go ahead. If it's too in-depth of a question, I might redirect you to a video of mine, because I've done a lot of videos covering a lot of news. But if you got something that wasn't covered or is, reasonably quick to answer, then sure, I can answer it. Yeah, the tags are a bit jank. That's what we were doing. I was praising them for introducing the tags, because I think the tags are really cool. I think it's really, really cool. Like, I like this, especially when we're talking about like team comps with like burn team, right? That's really cool. You can say, use the burn team, and then somebody who hasn't watched a single video can click on burn and they can see the entire burn team. They'll be a little led astray by seeing Ignis in here, but they'll be close enough, right? And if somebody says like, use the life loss team, they can see at a glance life loss team, right? They won't have all the context, but they'll know enough. It doesn't show unowned sinners. See, I couldn't test that, because I have all the sinners except for the 2 that aren't out yet. So, yeah. Yeah, still waiting on the banner for the new 2. But actually, now that the event's live, we can go ahead and do their suspect pursuit. That's something. Okay. So I've read Irrheia's kit. I've read it. And I've stayed away from watching other people's guides, because I don't like to be influenced by other people's guides. I think that if I'm making my guide off somebody else's guide, then it's just sort of creating an echo chamber, and you're not getting like a full, like, unbiased opinion. But even though I've read Irrheia's kit, she has so much text that it's hard for me to fully, truly understand what she does and what she's capable of. So it's going to require a lot of testing to see what Irrheia like truly brings to the table. Drea 2 or 3 star skin. I say hands down Drea's swimsuit skin is the best. That thing is just immaculate. Don't get me wrong, I have both, right? The dress is pretty nice. Like, it's nice. Don't get me wrong. But this is just like a perfect skin. Like, if I'm trying to get a friend into Path of Nowhere, I show them this skin. Like, it's skins like this that sell the game, right? To new players. Like, not just because it's like, a lot of skin, but also because like the color variation, it's a very pretty, very like vibrant skin. Path Nowhere has a lot of like darks in it, a lot of like dreariness because it's, you know, it's a darker game. But having this, the nice contrast, the shooting star in the background, the swirling galaxy, the falling petals on the screen, like the purple hair on the undertone versus like the platinum white on the top, like all the little details about this skin make it really, really nice. Really, really nice. Rosters, S3 Augustus, okay, your account's golden. Seto, Shalom, Zero, Hilda, Jelena, Angel, Zoya. Who to pull in the future, and what is my team comp? So take your Augustus, take your Seto, and then if you have Singlinde, the A rank, use Singlinde with those two. When you get Singlinde to level 70, you get her phase 3, and you unlock her ECB. Let me show you that to you. You know what? I'm going to use the new tag system because Singlinde is a true damage unit. Okay, Singlinde, her ECB, for the first 30 seconds of battle, Singlinde gains 1 stack of Shattered Blade per second to the allied center, blah, 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 blah. She gives your other center Shattered Blades. So what happens is that now Singlinde is amplifying their damage. She's an easy tank, but she's also giving more resources to either Augustus or Seto. And it's a really effective support that really enables the team and opens up a lot of options. So I would run Augustus, Seto, Singlinde, and then like Diamant said, Shin is coming out on a rerun soon, and everybody should have an S1 Shin. Like everybody should have an S1 Shin. That's just don't think about it. Just grab yourself an S1 Shin. This character is ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Center. Just get an S1 Shin. She's a healer, and if you have her at S1, she heals the entire field, and also her ultimate makes her the strongest damage buffer in the game. So just get Shin. Yeah, if you really, really want to be broken, then grab S3, because S3 is... I don't know what they were thinking when they introduced S3 Shin. It's genuinely game-breaking. But that's an entirely different discussion. Because I'm not going to sit here and tell a new player, like, okay, you've got to pay $100 to get S3 Shin. No, you don't need to do that. But if you have the pulls and you really want to like play on easy mode, you want to like do the autoplay, then yeah, S3 Shin's like your closest thing that you're going to have to autoplay. But you don't need it. You don't need it. So don't go spending hundreds of dollars on an S3 Shin. That's not worth it. S0 Shin. Yeah, I've never played with an S0 Shin, I'll be honest. But it's just so comfy. It's just like throwing Shin in a corner and forgetting she exists. But like she doesn't get any stronger at S1. She just gets like comfier. You don't have to think as much. And I think that's a really good like design space, honestly. Like if you look at Donald's first shackle is like, hey, I'm finally playable at S1. Because Donald is not playable at S0. But Shin is like, hey, I'm not any stronger, but damn, I'm nicer to use. So I think that's a good design space that they should continue making shackles like this, just quality of life shackles. Yeah, S1 Pilgia. I meme on the S1 Pilgia a lot. Damn, I saw videos from Nexka. You might have been making Pilgia videos. Were you making S1 Pilgia videos back in the day? Because there was people making S1 Pilgia videos, and I was like, bro, I don't know how they're doing this. They're hitting like 270k with a fucking Pilgia, and I'm like trying my best, but I can't even hit 240k with my Pilgia. And it turns out like after I finally got S1, only S1, sir. Yeah. After I finally got Pilgia at S1, I was like, oh, double damage. That's why. Okay. Now we're getting into the the whale bait, rage bait territory we're talking about, the Crest of Hella Shackles. I made a video on this one. I'm not a fan of the S5. The Crest of Hella thing that they did. I don't approve of that. God, I couldn't believe just how crazy S1 Pilgi it was. Like, I had been using it as 0 on and off with like no success. And I was like, okay, fine. I really like her character. Like, the translucent skin is like really cool. Like, you can see her veins and arteries like through her skin. Like, that's really cool. She's like a transparent jellyfish. It's a really cool designed character. I was like, fine, I'll get her S1. And then it turns out her damage is just literally doubled. So I couldn't believe it. Oh man, I turned the music down because it was too loud, and now it's too quiet, so I gotta turn it back up. The music just can't decide what volume it wants to be. Hopefully if we ever get S rank, Kate, her shackles are even more broken than a Crest of Hell. I'm not sure what other characters are there. Servant from the S-Class arrest file. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, hold on. I might have that arrest file that you're talking about. Because I don't spend my resources. If you're talking about this one, yeah, I say Serpent. If these are your choices, like I wouldn't think twice about it. I'd click Serpent, personally. But keep in mind that when you're grabbing Serpent, you are going to have to reforge her, and you can't even start reforging characters until Chapter 8. So if you're like brand new and you haven't progressed much in the story and you don't have many resources, you're not going to get to like the reforge very quickly. So keep that in mind when you're grabbing stuff like Serpent, because Serpent really does need to be level 90 and access to her full reforge, and this process takes a lot of resources. So just be mindful of that. Amel and Cavi. Cabernet could use some love. I don't know what they're going to do with Cabernet, but she could use some love. Reforge for new players kind of ass? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's bad. I mean, I get it. It's supposed to be for like veteran players who have been like, I've been playing with this center for 2.5 years now, and they can finally do something. I want to feel rewarded. But at the same time, like, new players here are like, Bai Yi is so strong. Bai Yi is breaking the meta. And they pull a Bai Yi, and they're like, why is this character so weak? So it's rough. Stuck for 4 weeks before I can reforge Adela. Jeez. Yeah, the problem with the Cabernet reforge is that I don't know what they would do other than like power creeping Shen back. So, like when they do reforge Cabernet, which I don't think reforge Cabernet is high on the priority list. Like Cabernet is still useful. If you don't have Shen, use Cabernet. Like it's just that easy. She still has a use case, but they'd have to find design space for Cabernet that's not just Shen's design space. They have to find something new. We're about 30 seconds away from the banner being dropped, by the way. So I'm hopping back and forth here. Bai Yi is pretty fucking cool. Yeah. Are those reforged materials still being given out, or was that just like on release thing? I don't know the answer to that. They might have enough. They might have been given resources to reforge one character. I'm not sure. Hamel could use a reforge, and I hope if they do reforge her. Oh, there's the banner. I hope when they do reforge Hamel that they lean more into her supportive capabilities rather than just making her like a stronger healer. Like I want her to actually be able to participate in something other than healing. So that's my thoughts on Hamel. But I mean, like right now, my top request for reforging, aside from the ones that are already announced, Langley and Irene. I want to see like the Darren Yao. Those have been announced. Those are coming. And then I want to see Langley, Irene. And like for us, it would be like July, and then Shalom in November. That's what I want to see. But you know, we'll see what happens. Anyways, Irrheia. Can I get her with my 100-something pulls that I have? I don't even know if I need S1 Irrheia or not. I'll be honest. When casting ultimate, if the enemy is in a core break state, the normal attack damage is increased to 3 times. Yeah, that sounds like it's pretty good. Sounds like it's pretty good. Well, honestly, I know next to nothing about this character. Okay, guys. Listen. I'm not a whale. I know you guys don't believe me. I'm not a whale. It's just that easy sometimes. Right? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's just that easy. You just click poll and you get them. Look, that's all there is to it, all right? I've shown you guys how to do it. You just hit the button. Okay, let's skip the rest of this. Oh, that was fast. I didn't get the I didn't get the A rank, unfortunately, but we'll get her in the event at some point. I can't give any thoughts about her right now. She sounds good on paper, but I'm not going to say that she's good based on what she looks like on paper. I think I might need to grab S1. I think the S1 is really powerful, just from like reading what it does. Where is the thing that say they take... Oh, here it is. Increasing normal attack damage from all enemies by 5% for 15 seconds. Okay, so if I upgrade that to 10%, and that changes to 30%. So yes, that does become pretty good. That's an extra 20% normal attack damage. Her S1 is pretty good. Not sure if I care enough about it though, I'll be honest. Like Exa said, I've got some things to save for. there's a busy season coming up, especially if we've got that collab coming around the corner. Oh geez, man. All right, she's at the very bottom of my list. Now, Irrheia is supposed to save the Aurum Secretum team. She is the last beacon of hope. Because the entire Aurum Secretum team is built around resonance. And Irrheia is the only sinner capable of activating resonance. So if you are using Aurum Secretum, I've tried running Aurum Secretum without Irrheia. It doesn't work. Right? You need Irrheia for Aurum Secretum. But let's see how good the team actually is. Yes, I keep saying that it's... I'm not sure if it's confirmed for global or not. I have no idea. I think it's confirmed for global, but I'm not sure. But there was a 1980s anime. I don't know what it's called, but it's getting like a reboot in like modern day 2026 or whatever. And Path to Nowhere is collabing with that anime from 1980. So we're getting some like anime characters. Cat's Eye, thank you. They like steal art or something. Stylistically, very nice. Stylistically, I'm a big fan of their addition into Path to Nowhere. Like if JoJo made it into global servers, I would have been a little upset because they don't really fit Path to Nowhere, in my opinion. But I think the Cat's Eye stuff actually does fit pretty well. So take that as you will. Fusion. Okay, I gotta skip all these Zero songs. Let's go find Angels section. Ooh, Pilgia section. Let's do some Pilgia songs. That'll work. Yeah, I agree. I think the JoJo stuff would have been a detriment, but you know that's just my opinion. Everybody, there's probably some like Giga JoJo fan that would have played Path Nowhere only because JoJo was in it. So I can't speak for everybody. Okay, skills. Normal attack doesn't matter, but I'll still level up to 5. The ultimate, it's damage and a buff, so pretty decent. When casting ultimate, Irrheia or Book of Rewind purifies all buffs from all enemies in range and reduces their magic resistance by 40 for the next blah blah blah. Magic resistance is further reduced. Yeah, this is pretty good. It's just another supportive option that lets her act as a... gives her more avenues of amplifying damage. Magic Shred is very strong. So this is a very strong skill to have. Just give me all 330 of these. And this last one, if Book of Rewind cast Orc Perception on the summoned creature in the Resonant state again, the summoning creature gains the Resonance Awakening mark. What is the Resonance Awakening mark? Okay, this is the problem with the new UI. Doomsday Ecstasy has a paragraph of text, and then to understand the paragraph of text, I have to read a paragraph of text that has 2 paragraphs of text inside of it, that has a paragraph of text inside of it. Actually, this is like an essay of text inside of it. As an essay of text inside of it, there's another paragraph of text inside of it with another essay and another paragraph of text inside of it. Like, just tell me what it does. Stop throwing keywords at me. Oh my god. And like, realistically, right? What she does is not this complicated. It's just the way that they've set up the new UI. It doesn't just say like, if Book of Rewind uses the ult, this happens, right? They could just say that, but they don't. They use keywords instead, and it really slows the pace down. Keywords can be done well, but Path Nowhere is currently not doing them well. Okay, 66 of these should be plenty. I got so overwhelmed by the text box that I didn't actually read what this actually does. The creature gains the Resonance Awakening mark. Okay, which one's Resonance Awakening? A special mark that increases the summoner's resonant skill effects by 8%. What is a resonant skill effect? A skill type exclusive to Aurum Secretum summoned creatures, including these people. Okay, cool. I'm assuming it means that they deal 8% more damage. That's just what I'm going to assume. Jesus, man. Look, I know what she does, and that's good enough for me. I don't need to understand every individual word quite yet. Later on, maybe. Right now, no. Supply chests, open another 20 of these. 18, 20. When the text has text, it has text, which is text. Yeah. That text refers to other text. That's probably my favorite part about this. I try to figure out what the Resonance Awakening mark does. I click on the Resonant skill, and then to read the Resonant skill, I have to go to another character and read their skill. That's the best part. Okay, we got that out of the way. ECB. Damage taken is reduced by... Summoned creatures in the Resonance effect take less damage. The summoned creature has an initial cooldown reduced by 3. I have no idea what this means. Oh, this is the book's ultimate. Orc Perception is the book's ultimate. the book's ultimate is very needed. Has an initial cooldown of 90 seconds? Jeez. Okay. I don't know how important ECB3 is, I'll be honest. Yeah, I will translate the walls of text into a comprehensible form at some point in time. That time is not today. I've got a lot of, first of all, experimenting, right? Because you can read as much as you want, but until you put the pen to paper, and the paper onto the field, like you don't know anything. So okay. So the TLDR of Irrheia. The TLDR. She is a support character that makes Aurum Secretum units stronger. The second thing that she does is that Irrheia summons a book. Okay, so Irrheia has a book. Irrheia has her ult, and Irreia's book has its own ult. And you use the book ult on other Aurum Secretum creatures so they become linked. And linked Aurum Secretum creatures summons will do bazonga damage. So you bring Irrheia both to make your Aurum Secretum stronger, but more importantly so that her book can link all the Aurum Secretum stuff together. So can use ultimate to put Aurum Secretum tech creatures in resonance. This is why you play Irrheia, or the resonance. And then they're also trying to push the Purify mechanic. I don't think the Purify mechanic is going to be that important in the long run, but yes, a summon that specifically supports other Aurum Secretum summons. There's this Purify mechanic which they're trying to push. I don't think the Purify mechanic is going to be that useful, but I guess there's a Purify mechanic going on with Irrheia as well. I'd ignore that. It's not really important to her character. But we use the book ultimate on our other summon. They are now friends. And now that he's purified, he can't dodge anymore, and we can do bonkers damage. Irrheia technically has 2 books. She places 1 book on the superior one, which unlocks Mania Intensify. Oh, Ordomare, you're breaking my brain. I thought I understood it. Yeah, BFF bracelet. There you go. The best friend bracelet. That's why you bring Irrheia around. Are you telling me that Irrheia summons 2 books, and I'm not summoning the second book correctly? Or am I understanding your message wrong? Book of Rewind. When entering battle, Irrheia summons Book of Rewind Anomaly instead. Okay, so it's still just the 1 book, but the Mania Intensify is the stronger book. So in the context of like 99% of play, you're always going to have the stronger book. If I'm understanding correctly. Which I feel like I need to say that with every corner, is like, if I understand this correctly, that's how it works. And Rumen is cool. Supportive tank unit with like suicide tanks. She's got this candle that you can like send out on suicide bomb runs. So she's all about, let's pause, all about this wax pool. It reduces the attack stat of enemies. So this is a very good way of stopping your units from being one shot. Right, like if there's a map-wide nuke that's nuking your entire team, and you're having to bring the shield Potesta. I saw a lot of talk on Reddit the other day trying to fight the Tuesday boss. They're like, "Bro, I have to use the shield Potesta. My units are just dying to this Jelena boss." Well, that's where Rumina comes in because she's reducing the boss's attack. So you're taking significantly less damage by reducing their attack. This is a very unique mechanic specific to Rumina. I don't think anybody else reduces attack. So this is really cool. And she has like this suicidal summon that you can summon over and over and over again. And that'll help with like revive shenanigans. And then with her ECB, I forgot what the ECB does. All wax pulls in the invigorate state for 20 seconds. Oh, this is the her supportive nature. It makes them take more damage. That's cool. So we're going to make a wax pool. We're going to watch as she dies. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. We make a wax pool. They are now significantly weaker. And then we can play Shruma. I don't know how to play Shruma. Don't ask me how to play Shruma. I'm bad at Shruma. I'm just clicking buttons at this point. But basically, she reduces attack and makes them take more damage while having like a suicidal tank minion. So it's I'm gonna say it's pretty good, but I haven't tested it enough. So I think her kit has a lot of spice to it, but I can't say it's good yet. Yeah, reduces attack, makes him take more damage, suicidal tank minion. Like those are 3 really nice things, but again, I need to test it before I say it's great. Okay, let's see if we actually understand how this team works. Actually, we can't because this is a physical boss, not a magic boss. So let's go fight a story boss. Let's go to east side. And let's fight the Aurum Secretum monsters with the Aurum Secretum team. Okay. Teams. Aurum. Edit. Add Irrheia onto the team. Okay, so the problem nowadays is that the Aurum Secretum team actually wants a lot of key units, and it's kind of hard to pick. Like the very base of Aurum Secretum team, if you want to use Aurum Secretum, you have to have Hypatia, she's the damage. You have to have Hilda, she's the damage. And then you also have to have Irrheia because she's the glue that makes the team work. And so you need all 3 of these units. Like that's just bare bones. You need these 3. Beyond just that, Aurum Secretum is still very difficult to buff up. Because the problem with Aurum Secretum is that they summon their summons at the start of the fight. The reason why Reforged 11 is so strong is because you can put all of your buffs on 11. You can buff 11 like 13 times, and then you can summon. So now all of 11 summons inherit those 13 buffs. The problem with Aurum Secretum is that they summon at the start of the fight. So the only buffs that work are buffs that are active at the start of the fight. And that's very difficult to come across. There's a few key exceptions. One of them being Eve, because Eve just buffs all summons and she doesn't care about when those summons were summoned. She ignores that restriction entirely. So Eve is a best friend. You can also make Stargazer work, because Stargazer is just making the enemies take more damage from summons. She's not buffing, she's debuffing. So you can use her. You can also use like Raven, Hecate, Those two are making the enemies take more damage, not making you do more damage. So Raven and Akate are fair game. And LL does nothing. She doesn't buff this team's damage because it's all the damage is coming from the summons, and LL cannot buff the damage from the summons. That being said, Aurum Secretum is very energy hungry. And because it's so energy hungry, LL is really good to like keep your centers fed. She's not increasing the damage, but just the SP income alone is enough. And then Shin is OP, so use Shin. So there's a lot of team members that want to be on this team, and I honestly don't know what the ideal team looks like right now. Because right now there's like one core breaker, and honestly, we'd probably put like Raven in here, just to help with core breaking needs. But I don't know yet because I haven't done enough testing. But I'm going to assume Raven. Okay, let's put this on slow-mo because there's going to be a lot of buttons I want to press. Start. Raven doesn't have crime brands. Also, Anzo, if you're watching, I know you're watching. Can we please, pretty please get a Raven Reforge? I have her at Shackle 5, 10, 10, 10, 10 skills with an ECB 3. Can you guys give me a Raven Reforge, please? So that I can level her up to level 90 and have a maxed out Raven. Okay, thank you, Anzo. Okay. Lysandra, yeah, Lysandra's a good core breaker. I could have used Lysandra. I probably should because it's more thematic for the team. And Lysandra's just a really solid unit in general. I don't think the attack speed matters much, and that's like all she's doing to really buff the Aurum Secretum. But she's just such a good core breaker. And she can heal. I don't think the healing's all that important in most content, but yeah, I think Lysandra's a good option. I don't think she's mandatory personally. I might be proven wrong here. Okay, so I need somebody to help me out here. Currently, my book has a 90-second cooldown. Is it actually a 90-second cooldown, or is there something that I don't understand where I can use this book ult faster than I have a right to? Is there a way to cheat out this really long cooldown? I'm assuming there is, but I don't know. Am I supposed to be giving energy to the book? No, I can't do that. I'm supposed to be giving energy to Irrheia? And she somehow gives it to the book? Am I supposed to put the book in combat range? Like, how does the book get energy? Oh yeah, that's an answer I need. ECB reduces its cost by 10, that's it. So there's no way for me to cheat out that cooldown at all. It's just like, wait out that cooldown. Okay, this team is garbage. That alone makes the team garbage. I'm sorry. Anybody who likes this team is garbage. Yeah. If you got to wait 90 seconds to start playing the game, it's bad, man. It's bad. I don't know what to tell you. Because I can't empower the book or do anything to it. It's just sitting here. I mean, my entire team's dying. Ignore that. I'm just looking at how long it's taking for this book to actually do something. Yeah, I can't do anything to the book. Yeah, this team is horrendous. Don't use it. there's my final review. Glad you guys stayed for that. When are you ever going to use that? I mean, Tide of Ashes, sure. Like, 3-minute stage. Okay. But like, outside of Tide of Ashes, like, what? Is there any use case at all? Okay, I'm not going to bring LL. Just let me bring Rahu. And let me put these people off to the side because they were dying. Rahu doesn't care. Rahu doesn't care if she has no crime brands on. Okay. So how long does Rahu sit here and tank before we can use that book ultimate once? Don't worry, guys. Aurum Secretary is going to be useful pretty soon. We're a minute into the stage. We're almost there. God, this is painful. Who designed this? Okay, we're one boss down just from auto attacks. I actually have to use her ultimate just for health. Okay, we can finally put the first piece. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys caught that or not, but I'm going to go ahead and explain it just in case you didn't. When the Aurum Secretum stuff is put into Resonance, when you finally get that book ultimate, the payoff is that all of the summons in Resonance use their ultimates together. So when I cast Hilda's ultimate, it also cast Irrheia's ultimate. When I cast Irrheia's ultimate, it also casted Hilda's ultimate. So I got 4 ults for the price of 2 ults. And that's where like the power of this team is going to come from. But it took me 90 seconds before I was able to even like get that online. And where the team's really going to want to make it work is another 90 seconds for me to get Hypatia online. And even if we're talking about a TOA stage, right? Like TOA is the big word that's being thrown around. Even if I take this into a TOA stage, I don't have enough time to cast. Oh, I guess I do. The second cast is smaller cooldown. Never mind. I take it back. Second cast has a shorter cooldown. Okay. Now things get interesting. All 3 Aurum Secretums are in Resonance now. The book has spoken. And now I'm going to cast Irrheia's ult, okay? And you're going to see Hilda and Hypatia ults go off. Okay, so let's watch that happen. Resonance, all 3 ultimates. Now, when this next boss spawns, because this one's dead, I'm going to cast Hilda ult, and all 3 ults are going to go off. Boom. And now I'm going to cast Hypatia ult, and all 3 ults are going to go off. Boom. And now I can give out more energy, and I can continue casting all 3 ults at the same time. And that's what the team wants to do. But you gotta get 20 seconds into, or sorry, not 20 seconds. You gotta get 2 minutes into the stage before that happens. So if the stage is longer than 2 minutes, then yeah, all of your damage is more than tripled. And it's really strong. But damn, how often are you going on stages that are longer than 2 minutes? It's just team is awful. The 90 second, I guess it's 80 seconds if you're at ECB 3. So it starts at 90 seconds. I guess it's 87 seconds because of the ECB 1. And if you bring it to ECB 3, it's 80 seconds. So at ECB 3, you get at 115 seconds. And at ECB 1, you get it at more than that. How do you get 600 stacks on Hilda? Waiting. So let's talk about Hilda for a second too, because she's the other piece of the puzzle here. So first of all, Hilda's damage is like equal to Hypatia's. Hilda hits really hard, and her like honestly, her primary strength is how hard she hits, and like her large AOE with 1 core break. Right, like it's like an 11 ult. Except it does all of its damage up front instead of like the initial cast and then the hand slap. So Hilda does hit really hard. The problem is that her team is awful. So what ends up happening is that she has her... When Intel Collector triggers Intel Collection, for each 1 stack of intelligence gain, she does more. What you need to know here is... Intel Collection happens once every 12 seconds. Where does it even show us that? Where's the text box that says 12 seconds? Come on, you're not making this easy. I know what it does. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. Every 12 seconds, Hilda will collect some intel passively. So that's where she's getting most of her stuff. But then she also gets intel collection from casting her ultimate. Intel Collector attempts to gather intelligence. It gains 1 stack of intelligence mark for each allied center presence and 1 additional intelligence stack for each Aurum Secretum Tech summoned creature. Where does it say 12 seconds at? I don't... Intel Collection gets a buff to 5 seconds? I couldn't tell you. Honestly, I don't see it in this text box. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Every 12 seconds, Intel Collector triggers Intel Collection once. There it is. There's where it says 12 seconds. So once every 12 seconds, you get the Intel Collection, and then whenever you use your ultimate, you get it twice more. And you're getting 1 stack for each center on the field, and another stack for each Aurum Secretum. So if you're running the Aurum Secretum team, you're getting 9 stacks every 12 seconds, and then 18 stacks every ult. Now, getting to 600 takes a long time. A long time. Long time. So, the payoff of the 600 stacks is, I just realized music's not playing again. Why did anybody tell me music's not playing? Okay. So, you do 18% more damage, and then the base intelligence thing makes you do 600%, so 600% more damage, which is a ton. But only half of that is being applied to Hilda's allies. So Hilda's really greedy with her buffs. Hilda is twice as good at buffing herself as she is her allies. So Hilda's like really greedy with those stuff, and you really do want to be spamming Hilda's ultimate as much as you can. But before Hilda can really pop off, again, it's Irrheia that needs to link everybody together. And for the links to even happen, you're waiting a minute and a half. Once you get a minute and a half into this stage, you can link Hilda and Irrheia together. And then at 2 minutes into the stage, you can get Hypatia into the mix. And that's just way too long. Like, without a way to cheat out, I don't remember how to play these Tide of Ashes, I'll be honest. What does this guy do? You just stand there, or does he have mechanics? I don't recall, honestly. And I'm not going to worry about all that. But even if it's a strong team, even if it like wipes the floor with this Tide of Ashes boss, like who cares? Because it just takes so long for it to come online. I thought I was being harsh on the Hilda review because I was like, oh, maybe Hilda's gonna get good when Irrheia comes out. No, she's not. There's just so much stuff on the field too. Like, how am I supposed to keep all of this alive? I'm filling up every single tile on the screen. Okay, this is a mechanic. I don't know what this mechanic does. Am I supposed to pick this up? I am no longer burning. I don't know what the burning implies. But Hypatia is no longer burning. Okay. Let's get some intelligence collection going. Boom, 57. Let's stop some burning. You stop burning. Oh, I can't remove burning on the Aurum Secretum. Nice. So the Aurum Secretum's just gonna die here as I just stare at it. Damn, man, the team struggles at core breaking. Like, I don't know, guys. Like, everything just tells me it's bad. Am I supposed to sit here and not core break? I mean, I didn't, so I guess there's no way I could have. I'll be able to core break once I get into the resonance state, but that's going to take me too long. And I didn't pay attention to mechanics, so my healers did. I mean, again, I don't know what I'm doing because I don't remember the mechanics of this boss. But I'm halfway done with the stage and I haven't been able to play it yet. I wasn't able to break cores. I wasn't able to do anything. Yeah, and I know people are saying that like it clears Tide of Ashes, but again, the more stuff you have, the more difficult it is to play. So like even if it's really good for like whales to like show off really good scores, which I'm sure it is, right? Like your Hilda's doing 6 times damage and you're getting triple ults every ult. So the damage multipliers are insane there. Once you get everybody into the Aurum Secret, the resonant state, and once Hilda stacks up all her buffs, like the damage is genuinely insane. The problem is just getting there. Like, how are you getting there and staying safe? Like, just look at how much stuff I have to protect in a Tide of Ashes stage, where like movement is like very critical and crucial. Like, you can do this, right? I've seen videos where people do it, but it's hard. I could just use any other team and like have it be easy. I really am just like sitting here waiting until the book does something. I don't know, man. Like, hold on. Let me just. Again, I know I'm not playing optimally, right? Like, you just have to ignore that for now. But let's just run the same team with an Adela. Adela, are you got the right thing on? Oh, I left the stage on accident. Okay, the Rahu. Okay, the same thing but with an Adela. I'll even run Empower again. And where's the core break? There it is. And I know I didn't do too much damage there, right? Like, it still has 292 health bars. But the fact is, I'm still alive. I'm doing the same thing I was just doing, but I'm still alive right now. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. It's just so much easier to play. And that matters a lot. Oh, this is the one where he reduces his own cores. Okay, but only by 3. Interesting. Okay. Again, I know I didn't play it correctly. I have no idea what I'm doing. I didn't read the mechanics. I don't remember the mechanics of this boss. It's been like 2.5 years since I fought this boss, right? But the fact of the matter is, Reforged Adela, with like me not even knowing what the mechanics are, is able to hit 12 million. And I'm not thinking at all, right? I'm just clicking buttons on the screen. And my Aurum Secretum team is dying because there's just so much that I have to do and so much that I have to protect. So even if the Aurum Secretum team is like crazy good in Tide of Ashes, my question to you is, do you really care? like this is good enough. Like 12 million every day. Like if this is your one and only attempt, you hit 12 million every day. Like you've cleared out the rewards for Tide of Ashes. Like that's all you need. You're already overkilling the rewards for Tide of Ashes. Do you really need the Aurum Secretum team? Do you really need to pull Hypatia, Hilda, and Irrheia? so that you can mauled and get a good score in Tide of Ashes? No, you don't. And like, unless there's battles coming out in like a new game mode that's not seasonal. Yeah, TOA is not the hardest game mode in the game. Agreed. Unless there's a new piece of content that's harder than this, that is giving you like significant rewards. Like, there's just better options. I struggle to identify why you would want to play this team. Mauling for leaderboards, yeah, and makes good YouTube videos. I'll give you that, right? And YouTube videos can fool a lot of people. But I don't know. I'm like trying to think of a reason why I would ever want to use this team, and I honestly can't. Like, can't play the game until 90 seconds, and even then, like, you really don't start playing the game until 2 minutes into the stage. I can't remember the last time a stage has lasted 2 minutes. Outside of TOA. I don't know. Yeah, if there's a way to cheat out the book, right? That's really what it comes down to. That first 90-second cooldown. Even if it was a 40-second cooldown on that initial cast. Like, we can work with that. But a 90-second cooldown for that initial cast with no way to cheat it out, it's so crippling. That is so crippling. It's like impossibly crippling. Leaving out some space in the meta for burn team buffs. Yeah. Burn team's getting a lot of support. I'm not sure if you've heard Exka. I'm sure you have. They're getting a new unit. At least I'm pretty sure the new unit's burn. And then Yao's getting a reforge. So Yao's coming back. I don't know what I don't know like how good the Yao reforge is or anything like that, right? They just said like, hey, we're reforging Yao. And I was like, cool. Getting a Yao reforge. Yao and Darren are both getting reforges. I'm more curious about Darren because Darren was honestly always a mistake. Her entire existence was, I use my ECB 3 times and hope the boss dies. Which it worked for a few seasons in Dark Zone, but then it like quickly fell out of favor. So I hope they give her like a real strong purpose instead of just ECB 3 times. But Yao's also getting one, and I don't know what they're going to do with Yao, but it's probably just going to be better numbers so that she can keep up. Because like Yao was good, and Yao should be good with the numbers on her kit, right? Like Yao has a good play style. I like Yao's kit in design, and when she was good and playable, I really liked running Yao. It was really fun. But when Yao like eats her entire team and tickles the boss, like that feels bad. So, do you believe Darren will power creep Adela? No, I don't think so. The problem with Darren's initial release, right? Let's find Darren. Oh, she moved places. There she is. Now, I want to preface this by saying, when Darren first came out, everybody was like, she's the best center in the game. And I was like, she's good. I was resisting the Darren hype. And a few reasons for that. One, crit mauling. Oh my god, crit chance. Sometimes you would go into a BFL stage and all 3 of your ECBs and both your ults would crit and the boss would just explode. Other times you would go into the Dark Zone stage and you would miss all 5 crits and your Darren would do nothing. You'd just be like, I swear I did more damage. Like, what's happening here? So Darren's always struggled with that. But beyond just that, she has this thing where she needs to build up stacks, right? She gets 40% more damage on her normal attacks. Who cares about your normal attack damage? Like, that's not what Darren's doing. So that first stack is useless. The second one is actually pretty useful because it gives you a core break, and allows you to do crits, like you need the second stack. And the third stack, like nobody cares. It doesn't do anything. Like this attack speed, like nobody cares about Darren's attack speed. It's not what she's here for. Unless her Reforge specifically makes use of this like normal attack damage and this attack speed, like I don't think there's a way to save Darren's kit. Because the only other design space that Darren has had has been her ECB, where she's dealing a ton of damage, and for each stack that she has, the damage increases. And when Darren was released, this was the biggest nuke in the game, right? It was 300%, or sorry, yeah, 300% at base if you had her at ECB 3, and then it went up by another 600% if you had all the stacks, which was good. It was really good damage. But like X is saying, like Darren was power crept in 6 months because all she had was this ECB, right? Like the rest of her kit didn't matter. Like she has all of this stuff to get stacks, but those stacks don't do anything because her normal attacks don't do anything. And like 2/3 of her kits is based around normal attacks, which don't do anything. So the writing was on the wall even on her initial release. Like as soon as her nuke was power crept, she was out. And that's what happened in like 6 months. Her nuke was not nuking anymore and she was out of the meta. So for Darren Reforged, they really have to find a way to make the base of her kit work. And the base of her kit has never worked. It's always been her ECP carrying her. So I don't know what they're going to do. But then again, I said the same thing about Adela, because Adela had like 18 problems. And they're just like, ECB, and that solved everything. They gave Adela a choice of two new ECBs, and nothing else on Adela's kit matters because her ECB is so strong. So maybe they can do something similar with us, with Darren. I'm not sure. Like initial ideas on what I'd like to see from Darren is like when she gets like 2 or 3 stacks, every 5th attack breaks a core. Like that would be cool. Like putting more emphasis into her attacks is what I would like to see. Her normal attacks need to do something. That's what I hope from the Darren Reforge. I don't know what they're going to do though. Right? Like they could just ignore the normal attack thing entirely and just make her nuke bosses again. Like whatever they end up doing, that's what they end up doing. But I really hope that they play into her normal attack stuff because half her kit is built around normal attacks. So, and Yao just needs better numbers. Like her kit's actually really well designed. She's a burn team unit that makes the burn team do a ton more damage. And then she also has like this massive nuke. The problem with Yao right now is that her massive nuke is no longer massive, and she can't keep up with the damage. So the only thing that she needs is like relevant damage numbers, and if she gets relevant damage numbers, she's going to be good enough. But you know, it's a Reforge. They have a lot of space to play around with, a lot of things that they can work around. Who knows what Yao's going to do? Like, is Yao still going to eat allies, or is she going to like injure allies? Is Yao going to like revive her allies? Is Yao going to like eat herself and be like a phoenix and kind of like rise from the ashes? We have no idea. But there's so much room to play with her kit that I'm excited to see what they do with Yao. But ultimately, as long as they bring her numbers back in line with like modern day numbers, she's going to be fine. So I'm not worried about Yao. I am worried about Darren. So we'll see what happens. I'm done playing Aurum Secretum. Like there's nothing more that I need to really say. Like, should you bring Aurum Secretum into BFL? Well, BFL stage needs to be 1 in 50 seconds, and Aurum Secretum doesn't come online until 2 minutes. So no, like you literally can't use Aurum Secretum in 99% of content. So why would you bother pulling 3 centers for this Aurum Secretum team? You shouldn't do it unless you're me and you have literally every center in the game except for the one from the event that you haven't done yet. So if you have literally every center in the game and you want to keep up the collection log, like sure, get every center in the game, keep up the collection log. But I don't recommend Aurum Secretum to anybody. Unless you're a max score chasing, leaderboard topping whale, there's no reason to get Aurum Secretum, because it's only there for like the flashy high scores on really long stages. It just doesn't work. 90 seconds to come online is just too long. Too long. And the rest of her kit doesn't matter. It's just the resonance that matters. Like, sure, she purifies. Purify doesn't do anything. Like, that's not a real mechanic. What are you purifying? There's no enemies that you want to cleanse their buffs on. Like, that's not a thing. At least outside of Irrheia's event. I'm sure in Irrheia's event, like, purifying is a big deal. I mean, like, it was... Purifying was kind of forced in the suspect pursuit, for instance, right? I'll go ahead and play that again real quick. Okay, so two things here. First thing, in the suspect pursuit, they kind of forced the idea of purify on you, because if this guy's not purified, then he takes 99% less damage. Right? But this isn't a regular mechanic. This dodge 99% of damage doesn't normally exist. So purifying doesn't matter. The other thing about this suspect pursuit that is very misleading is that they give you a book ultimate at 0 seconds. I mean, I get it. They don't want you to wait 90 seconds before you play the game. But why does the sitter make you wait 90 seconds before you play the game? So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, this is just bad. Yeah, it's really deceptive that the book ult is instantly filled at 0 seconds. Because, like, if it was filled at 0 seconds and you only had to wait 40 seconds to get to get Hilda into the mix, or you got Hilda into the mix at 0, then you got Hypatia into the mix at 40 seconds. That's a really good team. It's a really good team. But the 90-second delay makes it actually useless, because stages don't last 2 minutes long. This is a tower offense game, not a tower defense game. So you're trying to beat it as fast as possible. And Irrheia doesn't do that. She plays tower defense. She gives you a bunch of stuff to, like, throw up in the way and be like cannon fodder that you have to, like, micromanage and heal. But, like, let's just pretend that it's cannon fodder. And she wants to, like, stall out the game for as long as possible so that she can get the giga buffs going. But, like, you don't stall out the game in Path to Nowhere. You can't. The game was designed to be a tower offense speedrunning kind of thing. So there's not even a shackle that says you start with the awakening mark either. That's so weird that it's in the trial. Aside from the issues having to protect a lot of fragile summons, Instant Book fixes her. I think Synex is the worst release character and instantly needs a reforge. Do I agree with that? Let me think. Because, like, okay, if Irrheia had Instant Book, then yes, I think a book at 0 seconds and a book at 40 seconds, Irrheia and the Aurum Secretum team is completely okay team. Like, I think that team works and it's good. It's like, it's got a place in the meta, in BFL, in Dark Zone, in Mania training, in this, in that, like everywhere you would be able to use it. But like the 90-second thing that it has right now, like it's completely unplayable. Yeah, skip the song. Synex was a mistake. She's like the same power level as current Zoya. Current Zoya wasn't even good on release. ECB had some nice ideas with like pulling enemies together. Auto Tax had some good ideas. Needs S1 to keep her mark up. Yeah, it's a tough call. Like, Synex is really close to being good if they change like one or two things. And Irrheia is really close to being good if they change one or two things. But as of right now, I'm putting Aurum, like on the tier list, I'm going to put Aurum Secretum at the very bottom. I'm going to put it in like the... So in the most recent tier list, I had the niche category with like Kelvin and Lamia and Lisa. Aurum Secretum's going to go below that. It's going to be above if you're a fan, but below Lisa Lamia. I think Lisa Lamia is better than Aurum Secretum. Because, like, again, you got to wait 2 minutes before you can play the game. And that's so hard to do, man. Same tier as Shield Stack? That's an idea. Yeah, 3 pulls is bad is a lot worse than 1 pull in bad. Yeah, that I agree to. And that's probably the most crippling thing. Like we can't even get into that discussion, really. Like if we look at, let me activate the new filters. Is there a weak spot? Yes, weak spot. You look at the weak spot team. 1 S rank. I know we're getting a 2nd S rank, right? So 2 S ranks. Okay. Weak spot's completely meta. You look at Life Loss, 2 S ranks. Cool. You look at Burn, 2 S ranks. Cool. You look at Shattered Blade, 2 S ranks. Cool. You look at Aurum Secretum, 3 S ranks. That's a lot. That's a big deal. And you need all 3. And it's still bad. Like you'd think that if it gets a 3rd S rank and you need all 3, you'd think it'd be better than these 2 S rank combos. But it's not. And that's a big deal that deserves to be a talking point. Yeah, I mean Magic in like the history of Path Nowhere has always been shafted. Magic has always been on the weaker side compared to their physical and now true damage counterparts. Reforged 11 all over again. Yeah, that's probably true. Do they have like summon as a summons? Yeah, summons. Oh, it's so misleading. Why would you put combat type summons and include Hecate? It's so. Why would you include Priscilla? Oh, these tags are so disgusting. Like, yes, Priscilla technically has a summon. It lasts 10 seconds. No, sorry. It lasts 14 seconds. And you can cast it once every 40 SP. So she technically has a summon. But she's not doing any summon damage. Oh, it's so disgusting. Okay, I like the tag system, but it's the tag system is flawed. Like Crash, like, okay, come on. Crash, you're gonna give Crash the summon tag? What are we doing, Path to Nowhere? What are we doing? Okay, whatever. I like 11 Priscilla and Summer summons where they can't get hit and there's less units to move around. Yeah, I agree. And like, it's not a point that I want to like shine a spotlight on too much because like it really does just come down to skill issue. But like when we're talking about Aurum Secretum, there's just so much to like Giga Brain take care of that for me it becomes overwhelming. And if I'm overwhelmed by the number of things I have to keep safe, I can't imagine what the average player feels like. Right? And I'm not saying like I'm the best Path Nowhere player ever, but like, you know, I'm leagues better than the average player, right? Like the average player is not even looking up YouTube videos. So I can't imagine what the average player feels like trying to play this team. Oh, man. And again, like a good summon would be 11. 11 does everything that you would want the summons to do perfectly. Oh god, okay, I love 11 so much, I gotta bring her to a stage to talk about her. 11, congratulations, we're going on a walk. Yeah, that stage will do. The great thing about 11 is that her summons don't need to be protected, but they're still serving like an actual summon role. So I use this, and now I know that this spawn point and this spawn point are both being dealt with. So I've got like the area control down. And now I'm like, boom, my summons are doing their job. I've got all of this area that I now have like comprehensive control over, but I don't have to worry about and defend these or anything else. Like they'll eventually disappear, sure, you need that for balance. But it's not like Aurum Secretum where I'm like microing all over the place, trying to keep several things safe just to keep that area locked down. I can just be like, boom, my job is done. And I can also like put 11 onto like these tiles that you can't stand on. For the Aurum Secretum stuff, like they struggle to find a place on playable tiles. They're stealing tiles from your centers, where 11 can just stand directly on top of her summon. Like she just doesn't care. She can do whatever she wants. Now she's not going to solo the stage like Adela does, but you know, 11's not Adela. She needs her team. She needs like 1 or 2 members of her team at least. But this is summons done correctly, right? They're doing that job of like area denial, area control, however you want to phrase it, but they're not giving you more things to defend, and they're not obstructing your center's movements. And when we look at like Hypatia, it would be a lot better if Hypatia was like a summon that you could just stand on and didn't have to think about too much. Same thing with Hilda. Like Hilda actually gets really clunky because like let's play this stage with Hilda real quick. If I want to play with Hilda, I have to move her summon to this corner. Then once every 12 seconds, it's going to explode. But I have to keep it here for it to do damage. And you can see that, like, this thing is dying. Okay, it got its explosion off, but it died in the process. So if I want Hilda's summon to participate, it's in a really dangerous position. And if I like, sure, I can play around it, right? Like, I can. Let me show you what I can do. I know that this is going to pop off at 12 seconds. So I can hide her summon in the background. And now at like 10 seconds, I can move this and now it does its damage. Like, I can do that, and I can do this like micromanage of HP bars. But oh my god, it gets so complicated. It's too much. When they already had this solved with Summer, with 11, with all the other summon options. And the only time that summons were a good thing to have on the field was in the case of like Eve and now Rumina and Chelsea, because their summons were like dedicated tanks. You summoned them because they were tanks, and even if those tanks fall over, you can resummon those tanks. Aurum Secretum, you can't resummon them. And then because you can't resummon them, they also don't work with any of the buffers, because like I can't give LL buff to like I can give LL to Hilda. But just because I gave it to Hilda doesn't mean I gave it to the turret. But I need to get it to the turret, but there's no way to get it to the turret. There's just so many flaws. So many flaws. Now again, if we're talking about just raw power, Reforge, Final Strand, activate. There's a reason why Adela's at the top of the tier list, right? If we're just talking raw power, Adela solos this stage. right? And you don't need to worry about summons or anything at all. You just do that for literally the entire stage and you win. But in the direct comparison, 11 summons compared to Aurum Secretum summons, 11 summons are just easier to play around and they're stronger. It should be the other way around. The one that's easier to play around should be weaker. But that's not the existence that we currently live in. So, I don't know, man, just bad. Like, not only do you have to wait 90 seconds, but there's just so many caveats to the team as well. It doesn't keep up with already existing options. Not even close. And it requires 3 S ranks, as opposed to everybody else's, like, usually 2. I will say 2 is usually required of a team. But 3, that's a lot more. It's a lot more investment. Okay, I gotta skip the Lady Pearl song. And again, Reforged Adela is just ridiculous. Like, if you guys are looking for power, don't pull on the current banners. Get yourself a Reforged Adela. Laugh at how easy stages are. Oh, I missed an execution, but it doesn't matter because it's Reforged Adela and she does whatever she wants. Oh my god. I misplayed this stage. I didn't beat it. Okay, I could have beat it if I played better. I don't know what I needed to do to play better, but I could have played better. But you guys get the idea. Hilda's event was lovely, but it was also too long. 30-day-old account hitting 250k in Dark Zone. That's crazy. Yeah, I won. I leaked. But yeah, there's a video on my channel somewhere in one of the Reforged Adela clips that I have where she soloed that stage without leaking. But yeah. But to answer the question about Hilda's event, it was I talked a lot about it at the start of stream. Hilda's event was really good. It had my favorite storytelling mechanics in it. I really like that they had the time rewind. It really helped with like the feel of an investigation, where there's just some information that you just don't have until you like fail, and that failure is the only reason why you have the information needed to succeed. And I think that was like a really well done like story layout to it was a really cool way to present the story. I really enjoyed that. But there were a consequence of having all those branching paths was that sometimes the story just got really repetitive. Like they had a dangle that Helene had blackmail on us like 8 times. And like I got it the first time she has blackmail on us. And like maybe they say a line or two about it later on just to remind us. But they reminded us like every time that Helene showed up. It was like, I have blackmail. It's like, yeah, you have blackmail. Well, I have blackmail. Yeah, you have blackmail. And it did that like 8 times throughout the story. It was really annoying. And there was also like anything that had corruptors, like that didn't matter. It was just fluff added to the story. And with the story being as long as it is, or as long as it was, my biggest pet peeve when it comes to storytelling is fluff and unnecessary dialogue. If you have dialogue, if you have interaction, that interaction needs to be important. You can't just like have an event and then spend like 20% of the event with like a tea party between Rahu and Shalom, right? If it's just Rahu and Shalom talking about their favorite pair of boots and that like has zero relevance to the story, I don't care about that story. It doesn't mean anything. And that's what I feel like a lot of the repetition did to Hilda's event. There's a lot of wasted dialogue that didn't need to be in the event, and if they cut like a third of the event out, I think it would have been a stronger story. But that being said, I really, really, really enjoyed the story, and it had my favorite like storytelling mechanics, like the best story presentation so far. Huck no face? I don't know. That confused me too. I mean, it was better than Shin's event, where like literally every single character in Shin's event was faceless. So Couldn't tell you. Man, I'm not looking forward to making the Irrheia and Aurum Secretum video. One, because I'm actually going to have to learn. I'm going to have to sit down and reread and learn these Tide of Ashes bosses that I've been avoiding. Because I beat these like back in the day, right? But I don't know what I'm doing against the Locust Apostle anymore. I gotta watch a video or something. So that's one thing I'm not looking forward to. But the second thing I'm not looking forward to is all of the caveats and reasons why the team is bad. And I don't like giving like bad news on Path of Nowhere. I like selling good news. But Irrheia is just, it's just bad news. And they can fix Irrheia. They can fix her. The only thing they need to do to fix Irrheia, right here, where it says 90, if they just delete one of those numbers, it doesn't even matter which number it is. You delete the 9 or the 0. And this Irrheia is a very strong center, and the entire team is very good. But having both the 9 and the 0, this team is unplayable. It's just unplayable. They just... no reason to ever use this unless you're like trying to impress your friends with the YouTube video upload of your high score on Tide of Ashes. But doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. Every other team can be used in Tide of Ashes and Mania Training and ROTD and BFL and Story. Whereas this is like just Tide of Ashes and maybe an ROTD. Maybe. You might be able to get away with this in Mania Training. But, I mean, most of Mania Training is just hopping from like crazy buff to crazy buff. So it doesn't matter if like you have time to link all your things together. Especially with Mania Training being like so like consistent damage. Like Aurum specializes in doing giga burst damage, but in Mania Training you really want consistent wave clear, and this team doesn't have that. And then when we even look at like what's that new one called, Data Crevice, we look at Data Crevice, like this is a normal attacking magic team, and I'm sure like normal attack magic stages are going to pop up. It has in the past, but even then, this team's going to struggle to be used. Like, those stages last 2.5 minutes, and you got to wait 2 minutes for this to come online. Like, that's a lot of responsibility in those last, like, 20, 30 seconds. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Just way too singular and focused. 90-second start is just, like, completely unplayable. Yeah, Mania Training, like, that's what I was thinking, too. But, like, I'm trying to think of, like, what's good in Mania Training. And the first answer is, what buffs do they have? So if like Hilda has a buff that says she does 10 billion damage, then sure, Aurum Secretum's great. But again, if Adela has something that says like her auto attacks hit the entire map, like okay, Adela's great. Like Mania Training is just so buff reliant, it doesn't really matter what your team composition is, it just matters what crazy buffs you grab. And a step beyond that, the difficult part of Mania Training is dealing with like the constant influx of waves and like 2 core monsters. But Aurum Secretum is just nuking bosses, really, because the whole point of Aurum Secretum is that when you cast 1 ult, you cast 3, but you're casting 3 ults at 1 target, and like that's good damage. But do you need 3 ults to clear the wave? Not really. You'd rather have somebody who has more consistent like wave clear rather than somebody who's dropping all of their eggs in one basket. Oh, here we go. Exclusive buffs. Where's Hilda? Did they add Hilda? I can use the new tag. Oh, never mind. I can't use the new tag feature. It doesn't exist here. Ah, I was so excited for the tag system, but it's not complete yet. Yeah, like Hilda's not even in the buff list right now. So if Hilda's not here, then Irrheia's not here. So there's no reason to use Aurum Secretum in Mania training right now. They don't have buffs, so why would you do that over Augustus? I mean, I guess you could use Hypatia, but he's not doing anything. I'd rather just like use Rahu. When Guardian Blade form, attack and attack speed plus 30. Like, yeah, crazy. I like that. Shen getting infinite M value, cool. Augustus getting infinite magnetic blades, sure. Like all the buffs are crazy good, but if you don't have a buff, then who cares? And like you can kind of ignore team compositions here because you're just running like 5 really good buffs. Like if these 3 people are all buffed, even though they don't work together, I'm still gonna run all 3 of them because they have really strong buffs active. So it's team comps don't really matter in Mania training. All right, let me catch up on in chat. It was I always skip the repetitive dialogue to get to the decision parts. It was always easier to it was to make it easier to know who the killer was, especially if you're a fan of Detective Conan. Interesting. Good luck with the guide. Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea how I'm going to structure it. Like I wasn't happy with how the Hilda guide came out, but like that was the best I could do because I was just so disappointed in Hilda. I couldn't really say anything positive about her. And now I've got to say even worse things now that Irrheia's out, and I have no idea how I'm going to make that video. It's going to be rough. I'm not going to be able to use my typical format, that's for sure. Purify is a tag now. Maybe make it as an ECB exclusive skill, which reduces the starting CD. Yeah, like she needs something to help. Irrheia needs something to help her jump the gun. The Hilda video, yeah, I had to delete some. I haven't had to delete that many negative comments lately. Comments have been pretty good lately. But there was, I think there was 2 comments that were really nasty that I got rid of. I don't recall. But the worst offender, you guys aren't gonna believe this one though. The worst offender of like nasty comments was the introduction to the meta from like, I don't know, a month and a half ago now. People hated that. Oh my, not hated, like it was very well received, but it had some really nasty comments, and the really nasty comments were just people who were just like wrong. Like, okay. I'm going into a stage. I'm gonna this guy whose comment I deleted off of my video, I'm gonna prove him wrong. So this guy on the introduction to the meta video that was back in November, he was saying that I was being really dumb because on the, and he used like idiot or some like, you know, some not so okay word, because I was giving him powers to blue instead of giving him powers to LL to give to blue. And I know reading can be difficult for some people, so I'm calling this guy out by name. So LL, her ultimate costs 24 and she gives 12 energy. Okay? So if you give an empower to LL and then give it to somebody else, it's 50% efficiency. But this guy was insistent that I was playing the arcane crit team wrong because I was doing this instead of just spamming everything onto LL to then give to blue. And he was really, really nasty about it, right? That's what did it. It wasn't like oh, this is why you're wrong. It was like, no, you're not only are you wrong, but you're like incredibly rude and nasty. I'm not having you on the channel. But he had really strong opinions about how I played the arcane crit team. And then I also didn't show the arcane crit team off with 3 Arcanas, and he was upset about me not showing it off with 3 Arcanas. But I didn't show it with 3 Arcanas because of how I structured the video. I showed off all of the like generic supports at the start of the video, and I was relying on those for all of the teams. And I didn't want to show off the support of Arcanas until after we finished the primary teams, because I didn't want to overwhelm people with like all of the options that they had available to them yet. So I left out the like the idea that you would want a 3rd Arcana on an arcane crit team because it helps with both Yin King and Yugo. Like that was a fair criticism of his, right? Like the team consists of like this, but I didn't show it with the 3rd Arcana. I showed it with Shen because I haven't introduced the idea of Raven yet, right? I never mentioned Raven. I never mentioned Nikate. I didn't mention Millie. And I didn't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole. I just wanted to be like, hey, this is your main team, and now you can add whoever you want. Because this team is very good, and even though like this is an alternative, you don't need to know that for the team. So that was like a nuanced point that he could have been right about if he wasn't so nasty about it. But the second point he made, where I should have given energy to LL so I could give it to blue, he was just wrong there. I don't know what he was smoking. But yeah, I only get rid of the like the mean ones, and even now I keep some of the like nasty ones up. Let me see if I can find a nasty E one from lately. No, I can't find one off the top of my head. It's been a while. Comments have been really good lately. I think we lost the like. Okay, so I'm getting into like YouTube mechanics now, which is not the most fun topic of conversation, but I'm going to do it anyways. When the anniversary came out, there's a huge surge of new players, and with a surge of new players, you have a bunch of new faces. And I think with all of those new faces, that also brought like, you know, the non Path Nowhere crowd, the non-regulars, and those non-regulars happen to be a little bit more toxic than the regulars, right? I think that's just what happened. And now that we're out of that like peak of popularity that Path Nowhere had, that we'll get again in the future, I think the average audience has calmed down back to what it normally is. So I'm expecting that like when the next anniversary comes out and Path Nowhere does like another advertising push, I'm going to expect a lot of like negativity on the channel that I have to like monitor, because I think that it's correlated. Like the more attention an event has, the more negativity is on it. So I don't think there's a way around that. I think that's just the way the internet goes. Oh my god. A lot of tribalism. Oh yeah. Let me get you a new link. Yeah, the links expire after a week because the Discord gets botting issues, and if I do get like a bot invasion, I want it to be manageable. um, Bob, generate new link, copy. Join my Discord, and then paste. Yeah, there was back in the day, there was a lot of tribalism. It's not that bad anymore, but there were some people who, okay, I'm gonna throw a name out there, but I harbor no ill will towards this person, right? It was the mob fan base around her, but there was I don't know how to pronounce her name. Cordelliama, and then it's like Jui-san or something like that. She does a lot of translations for Path of Nowhere. She used to do a lot of translations. I haven't seen her translations in a while, but she did a lot of like really good information posts for the community back in the day, and she had like a tribe of like diehard fans that would do anything for her. And if you dared had a disagreeing opinion with her, then you were wrong, and you had to watch all of this to know why you were wrong. And it was just like, bro, come on. People are allowed to have different opinions, all right? Like, calm down. It's not that serious. And another one that happened, this is the example that I always like pointing towards. Lamia Path to Nowhere. Does it still happen? No, I don't see it anymore. There was a guy he wasn't making any YouTube videos at all. But I said that Lamia was bad on Reddit. And I said she was bad because if you had the S rank mages, they typically had enough AoE that you didn't need Lamia's AoE. Right, the whole idea of Lamia was that she killed off all the waves. But at the time, the popular mages, Irene, 11, Shalom, they were able to kill the boss and the waves at the same time. And because you killed both at the same time, you never needed Lamia. And in that context, Lamia was bad. So I called Lamia bad, and this guy just went ballistic. And he started like following me around on Reddit. I blocked him on Reddit. He made a new account. I blocked him on Reddit again. He made another new account like 3 months later. And he's like stalking me on multiple Reddit accounts, just like chasing me down and leaving like mean comments on Reddit all over the place. Like, I didn't care. I just blocked him and moved on, right? And then he like proceeded to upload like Lamia proof videos. Like, look, Lamia can beat this stage. Lamia can beat this stage. Lamia can beat this stage. And he had like 200 something videos of Lamia beating all these stages. And I was like, cool. But if you have Shalom, it doesn't matter. Because like Shalom eliminates the need for Lamia. 11 eliminates the need for Lamia. You don't need both, right? That was the point. But it just never got to him. He was like, I can't believe you called Lamia bad. Brr! And he just went on like a tirade. Both on Reddit and on YouTube, just uploading like hundreds of videos trying to prove me wrong. So that was kind of crazy. I don't remember his name anymore. I tried to find his channel. I couldn't find it. Nowadays, there's better creators creating Lamia videos still. So, yeah. You know what? He might actually... it might actually still be on S1N. Guides. Yeah, it is. Is this the guy? I gotta fact check before I go accusing people. Path to Nowhere. Okay, Can I type in Lamia and find it? I don't want to badmouth the wrong person. So I'm trying to double check. But I can't find this guy's YouTube channel at all, so I'm thinking it's not him. But I don't want to badmouth him, never mind. Ignore that. I can't find the guy. And I'm not trying to call out the wrong person, so I take it back. Okay, so this is supposed to be a Aurum Secretum test stream, but I mean I got all the testing I needed, finding out that they don't do anything until 90 seconds into the match. So let's just do Oblivion Pit with like regular teams. Here, let's start off with the Aurum Secretum team. Let's go straight into the boss fight. And grab the Hilda buff. Play around Hilda. Aurum Secretum team. Oh, this is an awkward stage. I never liked this stage. Because there's like a weird overlap going on here. And they've played this stage a few times. I think the bigger issue I have with this stage is that I don't know which one's which. Like, I don't know if 27 is Bai Yi or if 27 is Che. So when I see the cores revealed, I'm like, okay, which one has revealed their cores? Did Bai Yi just reveal her cores or did Che just reveal his cores? I can't tell. Because the naming is not very apparent. Okay, but anyways, Aurum Secretum. Let's do Eve, Hilda, Irrheia. Find enough space for Hypatia somehow. Actually, there's enough room for Hypatia there, so we'll put her there. And then we can put Shin on the field. We're gonna need some way to heal all of this. And let's finish it off with everybody's favorite Lissandra. $270 is Che. Okay, I'll remember that. I just now realized that it's 027 and 270. Why do they do this? Oh. Hopefully Irrheia doesn't block Hypatia something. I don't think it does. Like, somebody told me once that it was clockwise starting with the tile in front. And I've tested it a few times and it seems to be true. Like, it goes the tile in front and then it does like a clockwise check around. So if you want it to get to spawn in this corner, this is like the hardest corner to get to summon in. So Irrheia should spawn here. And Hypatia wants to summon here, 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 here. And then as a last resort, she summons it in this corner. That's how it should work. And Eve should summon her thing here. It should work. Sandra's in Crime Brands. Yeah, everything came out exactly where I expected them to come out. Okay. And now we wait 90 seconds. His team is so stupid. Okay, let's get some intel stacks. Nice. Okay, hold on. Let me break Che real quick. No, Che stunned me. Okay, we're still waiting 90 seconds. God, Lissandra is so good as a core breaker. Okay, and Hypatia does damage. I know this is Hypatia buff, and like Hypatia's, or not Hypatia, Hilda does damage. I know this is Hilda buff, and like she's getting crazy damage from the buff, but also just understand that like Hilda does hit hard. And if she wasn't a part of the Aurum Secretum team, she would be really good as like a standalone sinner. But the fact that she's like pigeonholed into the Aurum Secretum team, like this really good sinner, she also has a high SP cost, like 30 is it's pretty expensive for a 1 core break. But like even then, she would fit into teams if she wasn't locked into Aurum Secretum. But you know, she is, so she's garbage. I wish Hilda wasn't Aurum Secretum, and I wish Synex was. That's my final review. Who has the you do? There's no second one. Interesting. Oh, there is. I see it now. The book is almost ready. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about when it comes to like why this team is so bad. So we're on the ROTD stage. We've already hit max score, like 40k is max rewards, right? So I've already got max rewards. I still don't have the book. I still don't have the book. I've hit max score with the Aurum Secretum team, and I have not yet used the Aurum Secretum team. The big problem with Hilda not being used on an Aurum Secretum team is that her summon comes out at the start of the stage, so you can't buff her with traditional options. You can't like Shin ult does not affect Hilda or her turret at all. Well, it affects Hilda but not her turret. So Shin here is only here for healing and the normal attack buff, but her ultimate doesn't work. And if I brought like Cabernet, it wouldn't increase the damage of the turret, which means that Hilda's damage, like all of Hilda's damage comes from the turret, right? So Cabernet can't buff the turret, LL can't buff the turret, Shin can't buff the turret. Trying to think of others. Like the Thistle can't, like all of the team composition, like Millie doesn't make the turret stronger. Like all the things that normally fit together, Aurum Secretum doesn't work because you have to buff the summon, and that's difficult to do because the summon comes out at the very first 0th second of the match. And yeah, Bell Tower actually does work. I don't use Bell Tower on this, even though I should. I should put like Bell Tower on Hilda or something. Bell Tower is actually best in slot because even though Bell Tower falls off after 30 seconds, because the summon snapshot, you have Bell Tower at the start of the stage. So the summon snapshots Bell Tower and then never loses it. And that's a cool little neat interaction with Bell Tower. I don't use it, but I should be. Okay, now that we're 90 seconds in, I can link these two, which means I can use Hilda ult, which means I can use Hilda ult again. And that's really good, right? That's good. We like that. I just wish it was a lot more consistent. By consistent, I mean it came out a lot earlier. Like by the time I get the second Aurum Secretum, by the time I finish the friendship bracelet and I get all 3 summons in the net, I'm going to have 20 seconds left on this stage. Like we have 48 seconds left and the book has another 24 seconds on it. I'm going to have 20 some seconds of like max power, and that's just not enough time. Like what are we doing? Okay, I'm going to hold ults from now on. I'm going to wait for the book. 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 There we are. There's the book. All 3 are cast inside of the net. The friendship bracelet is complete. All 3 ultimates. All 3 ultimates. All 3 ultimates. Do it again. Give me more ultimates. But you can still core break her through the power of friendship. Do it, Hilda. Now it's your turn, Irrheia. Power of friendship bracelet. Hypatia, use the friendship bracelet. Okay, so it hit 60k. Like, it's good in these long stages, right? Like, it hit actual max score, 60k. I was just doing nothing until I finished the friendship bracelet. Yeah, I got the max score. Like, that's good, right? That's unique. That's something that most teams can't do. But at the same time, I hit max rewards. I hit 40k like a minute into the stage, well before Irrheia ever got to cast her book. So you got to ask yourself the question, like, cool, you hit the max score, but who cares? Like, did those last 20,000 points do anything for you? Is it worth pulling all three of these sinners? No. Yeah, Hilda is the MVP there. Again, mostly because we had the Hilda buff. From what I understand, in the and like true Tide of Ashes testing and all of that, like 300 million max scoring Tide of Ashes, it's Hilda and Hypatia are tied at like 48% each, from what I understand. But Hilda's, for me, like, Hilda's where it's at. Like, if Hypatia and Hilda are both doing the same amount of damage, but Hilda hits in a better AoE and has a core break, then, like, Hilda all day, every day, right? Like, Hilda's the best member. So, I mean, it's cool that we hit 60k. I'll give him that. It's cool. At the same time, I gotta ask, who cares? Right? Like, any other team could have hit 40k there, and that's good enough. Okay, what team do we want to see next? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Creates a 3x3 zone after using ult, attack, and attack speed of allies within increased by 24% for 12 seconds with a double effect for sinners with Manti. That's a lot of words, but I like it. Dawn, during Thunderous Wave, Electricity Cop, discharges the entire map. Hell yeah, let's do Dawn. I didn't know Dawn was hitting the entire map this season. Let's use Last Stand with Dawn. My Donald is cracked, by the way. This is an S3 Donald. So S3 Donald with the dead end. So like this is max power Donald. Realistically, max powered at least. What do we use? Just use like mask or something? What does Donald run nowadays? This is like DPS Donald, so he's not gonna be. He doesn't care about his auto attacks, right? We can just run like skill damage. Yeah, let's do that. Man, I really liked Don when he first released, but his like 4 core break niche just doesn't matter anymore. There's just better options. Okay, so we're bringing Donald and who else? I guess we bring Oak. Wherever Oak is. Congratulations, Oak. You're seeing play for the first time in a billion years. We can do Cabernet. We can go real old school. In fact, let's keep going old school. Let's bring a healer. Got to give ourselves an insurance policy just in case things go wrong. And I don't know, if we're going down memory lane, then let's grab Victoria. Oh, Shalom, you're right. That is a memory lane thing there. Sorry, Shalom, you have fallen into memory lane territory. Hate to say it to you. Alright, let's There we go. Okay, you need your true damage. Don, you're good. Shalom, you're fine. Oak. I don't know, Oak. I'm just gonna give you a mask. I don't feel like playing around jellyfish. Cabernet. Give you the ignition set. Good enough. Not even using you. Okay, cool. I guess I should just instantly dead end because I get multiple charges, right? Oh yeah, I thought it said it was global. Did I misread? Discharge affects the entire map. What is discharge? Okay. Okay. Donald was not this hard to read in the past. Like we meme on Aurum Secretum, right? Because Aurum Secretum's the new thing. But Donald did not used to be this difficult to read. Like, it's not an Aurum Secretum thing. It's a UI thing. I give up on reading already. I'm not even going to try. They hurt. Wow, they hurt. Okay, all of the sinners that I'm using at some point in their career was good. It's just, we're not living in the height of their goodness right now. Like, even Oak, at the height of her power, was at one point good. It's just been a second. Okay, yeah, let's take that out for a second. Buff, LL. Brahu, Crime Brand, you're already set. Buff, LL buff, cool. See, this isn't going to work because I need a second person to tank. It takes too long for the minions to get dragged down. Even when I do, like, the... Oh, it's a 3x3 around Manti. Okay, let's try that again, actually. I thought the 3x3 was around the target, not around LL. But even then, I think it takes too long for the minions to catch up. Yeah, it takes too long for them to catch up. I'm not doing anything. Like, I've got all these waves of enemies that just are hiding in the back. I'm not doing anything to them. Okay. One more change. If you don't like a stage, just do this. The verified I don't like this stage option. Oh, I don't want the LL buff. Normal attack damage, sure. When you don't like a stage, just win. If you don't like a song, just skip it. Hey, that's a good song. It's actually pretty good. I should revisit that topic, actually, because I mentioned Shattered Blade with the Seto Singlinde combo, but I didn't mention Shattered Blade with like Seto Singlinde and Reforged Serpent. But it's really good. So what happens is that Singlinde is still the best support, and she's still giving Shattered Blades to whoever has the highest attack. So normally that prioritizes Augustus, right? And Augustus does most of the damage, so that's kind of the idea. But if you're giving a ton of Shattered Blades over to Seto, Seto is able to like get more Shattered Blades to core break more often. And she does a good burst of damage, and it like really opens the doors for a lot of core breaking options, because you don't like if Seto on her own needs to break 4 cores to keep the chain going, Seto with Singlinde, she probably only needs 2 cores to keep going. And that's a really big deal. So you can get a lot better Seto chains off. And Seto just spamming her true damage debuff, like her true damage debuff is improving her own damage. And that's good enough on its own. But especially when you pair it with like Serpents, it actually does roll out really well. And you don't need Serpent, you don't need Augustus, but like I would grab one of those two if you want to run it seriously. Yeah, Parfait works. Yeah, Parfait works. It's good. It's good. I mean, really what it comes down to is Shattered Blade is a quote-unquote free resource. And Singlinde is just giving free resources out, kind of like LL gives out free resources, right? So you're just getting so many resources to play with. Even if those resources aren't going to Augustus, them going to Seto is good enough. And you just can't beat free resources in this game. It's just really strong. Just know that Seto does like still require like core breaking chains to do her thing. So on stages like this, it kind of looks like she's not doing much, but she's actually doing a lot. She just needs those cores to, you know, do her job because she's there to break cores. Yeah, I like that they put it into the main story. I'd have to like look back because it's a little. When they put it back into the main story, did they rebalance the stage's levels, or did they keep it at like the event levels? Like if I go to the first stage, it's. How do I work this interface? Level 50? Okay, that's like kind of main stage relevant. Level 30? Okay, yeah. So that was the one thing that I was curious about because this happens after the East Side events. And the East Side stages are actually pretty difficult. Like really, like this is level 80. And it actually does, like level 80 I think is actually pretty accurate. You do chapter 17 before it unlocks. Yeah, like this chapter is actually really difficult. And the event wasn't difficult at all. So weird that they did that. I wish they found a way to like make that balance happen a little better. If they're going to do like, here's the event, we're also adding it to the main story. I hope they find a way to like balance the event difficulty and the story difficulty and make it a little bit more coherent. Events are kept how they are launched. Yeah, I wish there was like some post-event scaling or something, but that's just me looking for like a solid continuation of the current difficulty. Maybe I'm crazy for having that opinion. Yeah, the events you definitely want to keep low level because like Arcanite's problem. Arcanites, they don't have any content. Back in the day when I first started playing, the only content that Arcanites had was a once-a-month event. But if you tried to play that event, you needed like E2 operators to finish it. And like you legitimately couldn't finish the events without like an E2 operator. And it was really limiting to how much a new player could actually participate in the game. And then when I started playing Path to Nowhere, I kind of expected a similar vibe where like, damn, if I don't have like max level centers, like I'm going to struggle on these events. And then they're like level 15 and you can beat an event on like a week 1 account. And I was like, that's really nice. Like the event should just be story. And that's what Path Nowhere does. I really enjoy that about Path Nowhere. But if they're putting it into the main story saying like, hey, you have to do this level 80 stage to unlock this, I expect the unlock to still be level 80. So yeah, the event rewards are really nice. Really nice. Like double your material income easily. Okay, let's bring the Reforged Adela team. Why not? Reforged Adela all over these guys. Servant. Oh, I have the wave clear ult on. You know, I didn't mean to have that one on, but I'll take it. Oh, I targeted the big guy. Oh, I targeted the big guy again. Okay. So kill the big guy, then go crazy with the Della. Got it. I don't care about Serpent Scry Brands. Okay, now that the boss is down, now I can just go crazy with the Adela ECB. And when you're doing Adela ECB stuff, you really do need to put it in ×3 speed because you're just spamming so much. It's just such a good center. Just crazy. I think I have the LL buff on right now, which is like the funniest part about this. She's a good core breaker on top of everything else. Like, that's just so silly. That's so silly. That entire stage was just silly. I started with 11 events. They had the daily stamina in the initial event. Something random just pops in my brain. I think Yao Reforge gonna have infinite attacks stackable from ult. Ooh, that'd be interesting. I like the idea of that. I think even with the Reforge, Adela original ult doesn't crit, right? I'm not sure actually. I have no idea. I know you get double ults on the center tile. I'd have to check to see if the ult crits. Let me collect all my rewards, then I'll double check. Man, I gotta replay this stage and like do a local recording of it because I didn't do a local recording of it. And this is going to be like what I put in the guide to show players that like if you do get the dream fight that's 2.5 minutes or longer, then Aurum Secretum will delete it. But only after the 2-minute mark. But okay, Adela skill. Okay, so baseline it has no way to crit the ultimate. But with the Reforge, additional core damage, one additional instance of physical damage, so double damage, and the additional core break. And I don't think this has crit on it. No, that doesn't give crit. Fog Stealth is guaranteed crits. No, nothing about the ult critting. But yeah, no ult crit. But again, you get the double ult on the center tile. And that's good. Yeah, it's crazy that they made Adela. Adela came out first, right? No, Darren came out first. It was Darren, then Adela? Or is it Adela then Darren? Either way, they made Adela and Darren, and they were both failures. But both characters were awful. And then they made Mantis, who is the first step towards like a usable burst damage crit center. But even then, her SP cost is way too high. And like you have to juggle the mania corruption states. Like 28 cost for what this does is it's too much. And like the big problem here is that like you got to get into the invalue state to make use of it. Oh, what happened? Oh, minor hiccup. I'm back. Ignore the minor hiccup. I don't know what happened there. My internet just dropped down a cliff. I'm dropping a ton of frames. I'm still dropping frames. Okay, I've stopped dropping frames. I don't know what that was, but yeah, it happens. They finally like went into the right direction when it came to crit when they got Mantis, but even then, like they priced her ultimate too high, in my opinion. 28 is just a lot to ask for a character who wants to spam their ultimate like Mantis does. Like for some centers, 28 is fine, and like 30 is fine. But Mantis, with how much she wants to spam it, 28's too high. It needs to be like 20. If Mantis ult was 20, she'd be really good. Like Baiyi's was too expensive at 40. They reduced it down to 30. And hers is reasonable at 30 because she breaks 4 cores with it. Serpent's has been knocked down to like 22 with Reforge, and that's pretty good. 28, it's just too much for what Mantis does. Okay, well, I'm nearing all that I have to do in Path to Nowhere. It's been a blast talking with you guys. A lot of people came out. It's been really chatty. It's been a blast streaming. How long have I been going? Almost 3 hours now? Wow. Yeah. But I'm about to head on out of here, mainly because I just don't have anything to do. Like, I wanted to test the Aurum Secretim team more, but like this stage is all the testing I need. Like, the team is great if you have a 2.5 minute or longer stage. So take that as you will. If the stage is 2.5 minutes or longer, you can use Aurum Secretim. If it's shorter than 2.5 minutes, it's actually unplayable. So unplayable in 98% of contents, good in the last 2%. But I have to ask, do you care if the team is good at 2% of content when it requires 3 members? It's a lot of investment when you could be saving for other teams. So yeah, like there's a lot to test, right? The Tide of Ashes and see how it works in Mania training and story. Like there's a lot to test. But man, I'm not looking forward to it, that's for sure. Yeah, that's another problem. Like, so much of what it comes down to for the Aurum Secretim team is like, trust me, bro. Because you go to the abilities. I'm going to do this. You go to the abilities, it's like, okay, every 12 seconds, Hilda collects intelligence. How do I prove that? Which one of these keywords shows that she collects intelligence once every 12 seconds? It's this part in her characteristic. It's actually not in her skills at all. And then on top of that, Hilda's turret can attack. Hilda's turret does have a pulse of damage, but it attacks once every 12 seconds. How do you find out that the intel collector attacks once every 12 seconds? Well, let me find out. When intel collector triggers intel collection, you gain 1 stack of intelligence and deal damage in a 3x3 square. But that doesn't tell you how often it happens. It just says when intel collector triggers intel collection. And it triggers intel collection once every 12 seconds. It's just so spread out in so many ways. I wish it just said, like, Hilda, at the start of battle, Hilda summons an intel collector. Once every 12 seconds, you gain intelligence. And on this next one, it says, once every 12 seconds, you deal damage in an AoE. I wish it just said that instead of relying on all these keywords to overcomplicate the paragraph. But, yeah, that's bad UI, unfortunately. But all right, Aurum Secretum Guide this weekend, maybe we'll find out. I've got a lot of footage to grab, and it's not going to be fun footage. The footage of me trying to make it work in Broken Frontline is going to be hilarious because it doesn't work in Broken Frontline. So, all right, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.